Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's EJC Arts here in Florida. Now, this video is about owning your own studio. Do you want to know the pros and cons and to see if someone like you will be able to be stable, to be in a studio, and to see if it's worth it? Stay tuned in this video and find out. Okay, so one of the things is your creativity is going to be unleashed. It's like letting the animal out of the cage. I mean, listen, I've been here for like, I want to say a hot minute, more than a cup of tea. To be honest with you, I've been doing this for like maybe like about 6 months now. And just the fact, now this is very different because, of course, when you're at home, you're in your room, you know, it's almost like the same. But here, I'm in the mall. So, and these are glass windows, big glass windows. So people are always watching me. So I love that. And then people are always coming in here almost as if for my service. So you have this whole entire studio for you. You could create big, large scale artworks that you really can't even do at your home. I mean, think about it, especially if you have kids and you have roommates. Sometimes it could be too much. You need that space in that room, in that area where you could just, and that's the beauty about having this. I mean, if you're that type of person where you're like, I need more, this is your more right here. You feel me? Now, another benefit for me being in this studio in the mall, now I have other artists here too as well. Now, this studio is owned by Evan Snow, which is Zero Empty Space, which he has 22 locations here in America. He has, I believe, 3 to 4 here in Florida. So, with that being said, I'm always surrounded by other artists, motivation, creativity. You know what I'm saying? It's just all around you, just sparking up. And on top of that, with that community, we're all helping out each other. You know, it's always good to talk to other people that's doing the same thing what you're doing because you want to know what's going on with galleries, art exhibitions, you know what I'm saying? Vending events, so on and so forth. You always want to keep your ears in the streets and know what's going on. And being surrounded by other people that's doing the same thing what you're doing, that creativity is going to be sparking up. And it's always good to be surrounded by good, positive energy. So that's one good thing. Now, it might be different for other people because there are some studios where you're just by yourself. Now, I know some people, they don't like that. Other artists, they always kind of like to be around people. But as an artist, for me, I kind of like being by myself. I'm so used to it. But don't get me wrong. It is good to be around other artists, but at the same time, they're not really bothering me that much. They just got their headphones on and they're just grooving. And while I'm just getting up, stretching out, and I'm looking at their work, I'm like, wow, that's mind blowing. Let me get back to my work and step it up. You feel me? But it's all good, friendly competition. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's always good to be surrounded by other people that's doing what you're doing. Whoo! Hey, another thing I want to mention right now. This is one of the cons. Is the money, 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 money! How much money are you going to be spending on these studios and is it worth it? Some of these studios, the prices are ridiculous. And some of them, you're kind of like, okay, I'm okay with that. Go with a price that's okay with you. Now, if the price is ridiculous, hey, find another one. But to me, this price was a-okay. It's able for me to get by the next month And on top of that, anything I sell will cover that month's payment for me. Now, Evan Snow, he's a real good guy, real easy to communicate with and negotiate with. Other people might be different in that situation. So that's one thing I do want to mention. These studios could get pricey and very expensive, and it's mind blowing. And sometimes it's hard to keep up, especially when you got other bills and medical bills, rent bills, Netflix and, Hulu bills. But you get what I'm saying. Now, one of the cons about having a studio, especially here in the mall, I have to be within the mall hours. Now, I could stay here for like a long period of time, for like, 8 hours. But at the same time, when you're at home, it's up to you. You can do whatever you want. But it's hard to strike creativity in odd hours. Now, I know for some artists, they have a hard time sparking that creativity, getting started. For me, I don't have that problem. Now, I'm not trying to say, hey, get it together like that, but everybody's different. Everybody has their motivation and creativity, engine, spark, fire, whatever you want to call it, very different on how they operate. For me, since I'm a huge fan of wrestling, the characters that they play on TV, it just sparks up ideas in my mind, and I'm always having visions in my head. I'm always sleeping with visions. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this is so crazy too. Back in the days, some artists would go days fasting just to have so they could just pass out, have a crazy image, and they could just start drawing. But everybody has their own thing. But that's the odd thing about this part right here. I have to work between the mall hours. You know what I'm saying? So once that 8 o'clock p.m. hits, I gotta be out the door, or they're gonna just lock me in. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. As an artist, do you need a studio? Do you have to have a studio? I mean, honestly, think about it. Now, for me, I always look at it like it's always good to put in your resume so people could take you seriously. I did art exhibitions. I've been a vendor for more than a year. And having a studio was always something that I always wanted to do. And I'm not going to lie to you, the day that I got the key, yo, I could have died that day, like honestly. But it took me a while to realize certain things, how to present myself to the public, how to make this comfortable for someone to come in and show my artwork too at the same time. By being a vendor and then having your studio is something. And then on top of that, doing your own solo art exhibition. These are certain things that us artists have to go through in order to grow. So think about that. Is this something that you need? No. But is this something that you kind of want to do? Every artist deep inside always want that. I can't imagine someone who never wanted to. But that's the studio. And I want to know from you guys out there, hey, do you guys own a studio? Do you like the experience of a studio? And for the ones that left the studio, are you going to go back to the studio? I want to know your experience out there. Talk to me. Let me know what's going on. Us artists, we got to stick together. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. If you got any ideas, let me know. Blessings to you. 1.